Welcome to Truth by Billie Beene. Today's date, March 1, 2026. Time in Texas, about 11 a.m. Have we already seen a sleeper cell hit, and this taking place in Texas? And we say rest in peace, 3 U.S. military. Iran is currently sinking ships in the Strait of Hormuz. So let's get started. In my last video, I put out that U.S. Intel had put out that both the FBI and Homeland Security had evidence that Iran had activated sleeper cells inside the U.S. Overnight, we had 2 mass shootings, one in Cincinnati with 9 shot. None were dead. We had police investigating, but the shooter got away. The more puzzling and shooting took place last night in Austin, Texas on 6th Street. 6th Street is a string of clubs. And what we know so far is that 3 are dead. We had 14 injured, and among the dead was the shooter who came to 6th Street with a rifle and pistol. Now, 10 hours later, we still don't know an ID of this shooter, which is not believable, but we are also finding out. I mean, that would only occur if both the police, the media had been told by most probably a federal agency tapped down that information. But we are learning that that shooting in Austin, Texas is also being investigated by a federal group, Joint Terrorism. So that's going on. Is it possible that there was a sleeper cell individual activated in Texas to bring about this shooting in Austin, Texas last night? I find it highly believable, particularly in view of the fact that the ID of the shooter is being withheld, and we see a federal agents group, Joint Terrorism, investigating. So keep your powder dry, baby. And we have this. Rest in peace. We had 3 American troops killed in the Middle East and 5 injured. While it is not being put forth by the U.S. military where this occurred, the U.S. military is putting forth this statement that 3 American troops have been killed and 5 injured in the Middle East. I put forth this. We have coming out from Israeli News Live that Iran has made repeated and massive hits on the U.S. base in Qatar that has sustained massive damage. So in my mind, it's possible that these 3 deaths and 5 injured could have occurred at the Qatar U.S. military base. We're also hearing Iran is sinking ships in the Strait of Hormuz. As I put out in my last video, the first ship Iran sank was its own Navy ship. But now Iran has sank a second ship. It's believed to be a tanker named Starlight. So expect tomorrow for oil prices to escalate, spike. And we have this. President Trump has made a statement about the U.S. operation in Iran, Epic Fury, and says that the U.S. plan is ahead of schedule. We have also had a U.S. base hit by Iran in Iraq. And Iran has hit the airport in the UAE twice. We have U.S. CENTCOM coming out to say So we've been seeing information that the U.S. strike carrier group Lincoln in the Arabian Sea has been hit by Iran. CENTCOM comes out and says that is not true. And we have from another source that the IRGC is now transmitting on a marine distress channel saying to ships, don't come into the Strait of Hormuz. And we have information coming out now from multiple sources that the Chinese and Russian juiced up air defense systems did not help Iran. And we have this, from Israeli News Live. Iran has hit multiple U.S. bases. The Qatar U.S. base has suffered massive damage. And that Israel in Tel Aviv has also been hit by Iran. And it is noticed that these hits on U.S. bases and in Israel, that Iran is using much larger missiles. So that's going on. Keep your powder dry, baby. It's good to be in prayer for America, President Trump, the U.S. military, and world peace. I love you, and I'll see you soon.